What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Amalgam Show. One of your hosts, Keena Johnson, alongside Shannon Hagler,
Heyo.
Nathaniel Redden,
Hey,
and Kyron Johnston.
Hello, I'm last this time.
Last. Ah, yes. I thought you said Lars. I'm like, why are we Steven Universe? What's the Amalgam Show about, Shannon?
It is about the nerdy and pop culture things that we enjoy and are into. I think that's the wording. Is that the wording?
Not quite, but it's the point. So it's all good.
Yeah.
Oh, I get a not quite. He gets a close enough.
It's the same word. If you like what you're about to watch this week, please click that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We are finally on some sort of schedule, which is weekly, and it seems to be working. We'll see how long this streak lasts.
Easier when you don't have to travel.
Oh, it is, yeah. If you have any questions for the show, please comment below or email us at amalgamshow.com.au. And then check us out on social media at The Amalgam Show everywhere except...
Vine.
Oh, yeah. Rip Vine.
Oh, yeah. That dead platform.
Quite. What have you been up to, Kyron?
So I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima finally.
Hey!
It's a good game.
It's a
Yeah.
real good game.
I'm up to Act 2.
Oh, shit, you
Oh.
fucking powered through that.
Yeah, you blitzed through that. I'm
Yeah.
still not up to Act 2.
I've cleared the Mongols out of that bottom island. Like, get
Have
out.
you done everything, like all the question marks, all the side quests?
Not all the question marks, but I decided I would like different armor, so I was venturing north a bit.
That's fair. If I knew what was coming up, I probably would have done that, but I'm clearing that thing methodically.
Yeah.
And I'm up to Act 3 now, and boy howdy, has stuff happened, but yeah.
Ooh.
But yeah, no, I've still haven't
Interesting.
stopped liking the game, and yeah.
Yeah.
What other thoughts do you have on it?
Cool.
I'm just trying to think of anything that wasn't said last week, and I can't. It's just fucking stunning, absolutely fun to play, and it just leaves me stupid every time. Just like I want to go back. I just want to go back and play.
I mean, I'm still not through the game yet, but I will probably finish it up maybe next week, and then maybe after that we could maybe do a spoiler cast or something on it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some details in the story that'll be fun to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm probably going to try and finish it off this week. Going to try and go for that platinum trophy because I'm pretty much on that track now. But yeah, on to the point of can't stop just wanting to go back. I've been playing it every morning for like 45 minutes, just when I'm having breakfast and before I need to have a shower. I'm just just knocking out a couple of side quests or question marks and that's
It is the perfect checklist game.
Oh, it is.
Just pull it up. Here's a list of shit to do. Just tick the boxes and off you go.
Yeah. And it's kind of like Final Fantasy VII in that it just you want to keep engaging in that combat system. And at least in this game, and it keeps growing. Like you get more tools, you get more abilities, and it just keeps growing on each other. Like I said to the chat the other day that like it starts becoming like Shadow of Mordor in terms of like you can just string together so many like one-hit kills. Like I don't want to say any more about that because like it's a gameplay feature that I didn't know that was there, or a few of them, and I'm like, these are great surprises. I am thoroughly impressed.
Cool.
But yeah, it's a good game. It's a really good juxtaposition.
Turns out there's been a few good
Us.
games this year.
Yeah, a few, and there's a few more to come.
Yeah.
I finally built up my standoff streak to 4, so I can just cut people down. Like, yes, go away.
You realize how good that standoff feature is. Like, it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the worst. One time I did the standoff in pampas grass, so I couldn't see. So I was just guessing. I was like, I got 2 of them and then got fucked up.
Yeah, the penalty for screwing up the standoff is pretty bad. Like it's I think it's a good penalty. Like
Yeah.
you're down to literally one slither of health, like 1 HP equivalent, basically.
Now you
Down,
dodge
down,
like
down, down,
fucking
down, down.
try to
Yeah. Just sit there beating yourself.
The
It's
only
so stupid. Oh, I love it. It's so dumb.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about standoff is that sometimes the camera doesn't work properly in that you'll slice someone and then it'll pan to where the body still is as they're falling. So it'll be like the body you just killed and the person coming up like at the same angle. So you can't actually see the sword strike or anything.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I mean,
or to be behind
I'll
the
give it
blood
like-
splatter. And I'm like, this is cool, but I need to see.
yeah. I mean, I give it a pass though for like the 99% of the time where it's just fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's like one time every now and then it's like, oh, the camera's not great, but every other time you're like, I'm wasting motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. No, it's just a really good game. Can't recommend it enough.
Yeah.
They should make. I don't know. I kind of want to say I would they should make another one, but one I want to see how it actually ends, and then two, like this would kind of be a great just one and done.
Yeah, I think this would be a great one and done. Let Sucker Punch do something else.
Yeah.
Let them do this, but not this. If you know what I mean. Like let them be the studio that just makes one-offs that are incredible. Like you've got Guerrilla making Horizon Forbidden West, and they're making a franchise out of that. And then you've got Santa Monica, they're the God of War guys. You've got Naughty Dog create like long narrative stretches over time.
Yeah.
Let Sucker Punch be the guys that come out and just be like, at the middle or end point of every generation, they're just like, hey, one of these? We made a really good one of these.
Yeah.
And it's set in some random location that's never been set before. I've been really interested by some of the interviews that have been done recently with a couple of Japanese developers who said, like, this game should have been made by us. We should have made this game in Japan. But we didn't. We got beaten to it, and it's being done better by someone from the West.
Yeah.
And he was saying like it was a really weird interview because a lot of people are saying like, well, he said it should have been done in Japan. Well, it's like that's not what he was saying. What he was saying was that Japanese developers seem to have lost touch with their own heritage and culture, and they need to be the ones producing this content. The West shouldn't be beating them at it.
And on a AAA level.
Sorry?
On a AAA level, because you have the Dynasty Warriors and the, in a way, Sekiro, but like those aren't
in a AAA. Yeah, I'm talking more like in a AAA, but just like mainstream level of like this is Japanese culture, and the game copped a lot of criticism for being a game about Japanese culture not made by Japanese people.
Yeah,
which is a fair criticism, but like this Japanese developer said it, we're not making them, so why not? Like if we're not making them, then someone else should. Because just because the person who the culture is about isn't making it doesn't mean that culture should die in video games. That seems like just as bad. So it was really fascinating to say, like, I think that maybe Sucker Punch should turn into the developer that's like every now and then they pump out a game that is like, maybe it's one of those repetitive open worldy games, but it's set in a setting or done in a way that we've never seen before. So like, this Japanese setting. Maybe next time we just, hey, Sucker Punch, do a sci-fi. And then next time they're like, hey, Sucker Punch, do a Western. Hey, Sucker Punch, set a game in the Arctic. Like, just do something weird with it and see what they come up with, because they're absolutely more than capable of making weird shit cool.
And they seem to be a homage studio because, like, obviously Infamous was a comic book homage, and that was before the comic book movie industry took off as it did. Like, Infamous came out in 2009. That was a year after Iron Man and The Dark Knight, that's kind of the birth of where we are now. Well, not the birth, the main stepping stone. But
I think birth is correct. Yeah,
I would say birth is like X-Men and Spider-Man, but and then you have like those turning.
No, I'd say like X-Men and Spider-Man is like the sex before the birth.
Yeah,
like the awkward, I don't know what we're doing sex, and then we get a baby out of it, which is Iron Man and Batman. Of like, oh no, this is somehow out of this clusterfuck, we got this, which is beautiful and gorgeous and amazing. It's a newborn baby, and now the baby's an adult, and we want it out of our house.
But yeah, like I wouldn't mind if they move forward. Yeah, like a sci-fi hummus. Like if it's just a Star Trek movie, those kind of things, or like pretty much just make Mass Effect again, but from Sucker Punch, or stuff like that. The other thing I was thinking about this game, this seems like a better Red Dead game than Red Dead Redemption 2, in that it's paying respect to its inspirations. One comment I've seen about Red Dead Redemption 2 is that it's forget the actual word, but it's afraid that it's a video game, whereas Ghost of Tsushima embraces both the Japanese film and TV, plus it's the fact that it's a video game.
Yeah. Tsushima is definitely a video game ass video game.
Oh yeah.
It is unapologetically a video game, whereas Rockstar's I can see that. Red Dead does seem to despise the fact it's a video game at certain points, or it punishes the player for having dared consume this media. Because, like, fuck you, video games. Like, with how sludgy the controls are and how bad everything and how forever it takes to get anywhere in that goddamn game. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And the only reason I'm really comparing them is because, like, samurai and Western media are so often compared, and they're the two sides of the exact same coin. Like, that's
they were the two things that were happening on the opposite sides of the globe at the same time. Like, Westerns were the West, obviously. Westerns were the West, and Eastern was the East. Dumbass. But yeah, Westerns were, here in America and the UK. That was the movie. They were like superhero movies nowadays. Listen to Spielberg talk about how he thinks superheroes will turn into Westerns. But they were happening at roughly the same time, and they, like, weirdly enough, for being on opposite sides of the world, they roughly follow the same structure and kind of like how and what they portray. It's usually a lone gunman / samurai takes on a corrupt area.
Yeah.
Saves the people, yada yada. Like it's all pretty stock standard.
And then you have like the Magnificent Seven just pretty much being the what is it? I'm blanking on the name, but the Kurosawa film, which then Star Wars like takes on both of them. Like, it's just all this like sharing of ideas, maybe sometimes stealing, but yeah, it's just it's, especially now, and especially because I've been going through the Star Wars binge. I'm just interested in like the influences of both of them on one, Star Wars, and two, on cinema and Ghost of Tsushima in general. It's just thought exercises for me at this point.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Anything else, Kyron?
No, it's just still getting through Hunter x Hunter. We've slowed off on it because it's so good and I don't want it to end.
That's
so we're just like, 1 or 2 episodes a night. Let's stretch this out. I'm not ready for this to be done yet.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But aside from that, no, I've got nothing.
Alrighty, Nathaniel, it's your time to talk. You've been typing away at whatever you've been typing away at.
Oh yeah, so I've been trying to buy Ghost of Tsushima.
One of us.
So how much did you guys pay for it? Because on Amazon it's $69.
I paid $69 at JB. Yeah.
Okay.
I paid an amount. I will not disclose it.
Yeah, that's probably the cheapest you're gonna get it.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Alrighty. Yeah, I think I'm gonna order it because I'm trying to get through Horizon still. And if I go get it today, then I'm not gonna finish Horizon ever. So
yeah, if you order it, gives you a couple of days to finish Horizon. How is Horizon going?
Slow. The same problem as I've always had. Every time I try to sit down and play a game, something happens, I get distracted. But I got up to, I finished basically, I finished the trials.
Yep.
At the start. Found out that those other tribes were assholes. And
Yep.
I literally just got to the front gates after everything, and then I had to go eat dinner. I saw there was some sort of beast approaching the tribe, but I didn't get to see the beast because I had to pause the game, and that's where I left it. That's where I'm up to.
Right. Yeah.
Very slow. Taking me a long time.
That's very slow. Like you are in the first 3% of that game.
Yeah, you've still got a long shot to go.
Yeah.
But the good thing is, it's all good. Like, it's all good shit from here. Like, he's not in a bad, like, it all... Oh, that game. Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's really good.
So I'll be playing that. I have been watching Hunter x Hunter as well. I'm a lot further behind Kyron. I'm up to... I don't know what the name of the arc is, but it's the spiders. What are they called? The Phantom Troop?
Yeah, the Phantom Troop.
Yeah. Kurapika
that's
has...
the Mafia arc, right?
Mafia arc. So Kurapika's killed one of the Phantom Troop, the big guy.
Yeah.
And that's where... Well, I'm up to Gon and Killua being kids. They're being kids.
Yeah.
They're running around, fucking around. I've been going to the gym a lot, like every fucking day. I found out.
Bet in while you can.
Yeah, I found out Juice WRLD's actually not that bad of an artist for some reason. I actually enjoy his music, but now he's dead, and that's very unfortunate.
It happens.
I never listened. Well,
that took a left turn.
Yeah, I think it's the classic. Yeah, once they die, you listen to their music, you find out they're not that bad. But Marshmello, the artist, finished Juice WRLD's last track, and it's really, really good. It's kind of like if mumble rap met EDM with a pop punk vibe. It's
that just sounds like all the worst things in the world.
I love it. I love it.
Just,
I fucking love it.
Here's a dog turd covered in vomit.
I love that shit. It's actually pretty good.
I'm sure it is. It's just that just sounds like all three of the things I could least like in the world about music all coming together to make a baby.
Yeah, I have an aversion to Marshmello as an artist, just because I'm like...
Oh, look, I don't usually like any of his stuff. There's been like a couple of songs that I've been able to listen to like 3 times maybe, but they're just so fucking repetitive and boring.
Yeah, look, you said the word mumble rap and I turn off.
Well, it's not really like... he's not mumbling, I guess. He is talking, but there's no singing. It's not...
I'll be back. My food's here.
It's just spoken word then?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's just rap.
William Shatner.
Yeah, but it's not even rap. He's just talking, I guess. Like that's what it sounds like. It's not speedy or anything.
Not to a rhythm.
Right. So
it's this. It's just a musical podcast.
So he's talking. So it's a podcast with music behind it.
Chill beats to podcast too.
Is that technically music then?
Well, it's music. I don't know.
I mean, there is music, but is that music?
Yeah, it would be classified as a song. It's good.
I don't know. Usually I am one for like, yeah, no, all art is valid, but like if you're just talking over some guitars, like I don't know if that's a song. I don't know.
It's called Come and Go if you want to listen to it later and figure it out for yourself.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's worth listening to just to figuring out what the fuck you mean by like he's just talking over music. I'm like,
that's what it sounds like. It's a song that it sounds like he's just talking, but it kind of hits. I'm not gonna lie. I like it. I usually fucking hate that shit, but I don't.
I will have to listen to it then, just to see like what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's a very interesting song, even if you don't like it. I think. But other than that, nothing really. I haven't really been up to too much. I've been trying to catch up on like Friendly Geordies and stuff. Oh, the new Dragon Ball Super manga has come out.
Oh yeah.
Oh, has it?
Morrow's just fucking beating the shit out of everyone.
Oh, so it's the middle of a Dragon Ball arc. Right.
Yeah, well, it looked really promising for Vegeta, and then Vegeta had like 10 seconds of fame, as he always does, and then he got his ass beat.
Yeah.
But it's a very interesting arc because there is an angel called Mirus. He is Whis' younger brother. I think he's the youngest angel, and he doesn't have a god of destruction. He's just like an angel in training. And he works with the Galactic Patrol, but they don't know he's an angel. So he's a Galactic Patrolman who is an angel, but he's not allowed to use his angelic powers. So there's a law that if an angel uses their powers for either good or evil, regardless, they die. The Grand Priest wipes them out. They're not allowed to use their powers. Unless it
seems like a little bit of a retcon.
Yeah. It's like a
considering that Whis like rewound time during Resurrection.
Yeah, I think that it's very it depends. I think it's always to do with what the God of Destruction decides. So because Beerus was there and Beerus was like, I'm not a fan of this, Whis was allowed to do it because it was Beerus's wish. Like it was his will to do that.
That seems like
I think that
seems like they came up with this and went, well, what about that one time? Beerus said fine.
Well, he did it in servitude to a god, so it's fine. He didn't do it of his own accord.
Yeah, forget it. Forget that shit. Forget it.
Yeah. So
don't worry. That's weird.
So now Mirus has come back to fight Morrow, but he's not allowed to use his angelic powers, so he's just like shooting him with Galactic Patrol guns and shit.
Oh god!
But he's really fast, so it's like Ultra Instinct dodging all of Morrow's attacks, and then he's just like, "Yeah, shoot you with gun."
Just real quick, just dodging and capping him in the face.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing like something like the Division, but you've just maxed yourself out in speed, but you've only got like this shitty little gun, and you've just got this giant boss just forever.
Just imagining Ghost with a gun.
It's like when you play fucking Castle Crashers and only level up agility.
Oh no!
I can jump really high.
Can I land a hit? No.
Yeah, no. It looks pretty interesting. But everyone's fucked. Like, Morrow has completely wiped out the androids, Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Gohan, everyone. And I think the whole point is, at the moment, Dende is on the battlefield, and Mirus is distracting Morrow. So I think what's going to happen is Dende's just going to heal everyone.
Yeah. You told me that there was a possibility that Vegeta would get his due.
Well, I think he still will.
And I got my hopes up.
I think he still will because he's still much stronger than Goku. Like, they've made that very obvious.
Fucking better
Goku can barely do Ultra Instinct Omen, and when he can, he's still not strong enough to even hurt Morrow. But Vegeta rolls in and just beats the shit out of Morrow to the extent where Morrow has to go and absorb his own henchmen just so that he can stand a chance. So that's what ended up happening.
Yeah. It sounds interesting. I want to see it animated.
Yeah, I was going to say, when's the anime coming back? Is it going to be the manga adaptation? Can Toei do something, please, with this franchise that's not Dragon Ball Heroes?
Yeah, I have a friend at work who keeps me up to date with the manga.
Okay.
And I got really hyped. I was like, oh, Vegeta's going to be the hero? And you've told me that.
Just one arc. That's all I ask. Just one arc where Vegeta comes in, beats the bad guy, gets to gloat, and then leaves.
I think it would be very good if Vegeta won this because Beerus... They've said that Beerus is supposed to stop Morrow, but he's not going to. And if Vegeta wins, then he will prove that he's a better god of destruction.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So they've, like, Whis has said to Beerus, aren't you going to go help them? And he's like, no, they can deal with it. Besides, Morrow's doing my work. He can do whatever he wants. Like, he's just destroying planets. That's what I was going to do anyway. So Beerus is just fucking around. And Whis is like, you should go help. And he's like, no. Yeah. So I think it's a plot point. But, fucking Dragon Ball has this weird thing of like, oh yeah, it'd be very obvious to do this, but then they don't do that. And they never follow it, and they go in there just like, but they're still not the strongest, and they need to be the strongest.
I get really weirded out by Beerus' character flipping all the time. He's like, I'm super helpful. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I guess it's because he's a cat.
Dragon Ball's final... It's always the same. It's Goku, and that's their storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hooks me every time.
That's probably why they do it, so that you think you're getting the character, and you're just like, I'll start reading or watching the anime.
I would just really love for them to do something with some of the plot points that they've laid out, like who invented the Super Dragon Balls, and he's got to still be alive somewhere. 17's wish about bringing back all the universes that were destroyed, not just the ones in the tournament. Fucking all the other universes' characters. What's happened in Universe 11 now that fucking Jiren was defeated in Toppo's God of Destruction? Like all of that shit. I want them to expand. Fucking Universe 6 now has Earth back. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably stuff that Toriyama has to come up with, because that was his idea. This manga arc just seems like, let's just put in a villain. We can just do stuff until Toriyama stops procrastinating and gives us a bunch of dot points to go off.
I'm not gonna lie, kind of when reading it makes me feel like it's the Boo arc all over again.
Is there a reason why Toei doesn't just take it off Toriyama and give it to someone else?
Because they're afraid that it's going to be another GT situation. That's that's not rumors. That's kind of the implications they keep giving. It's just like, we want Toriyama-sama because he doesn't fuck it up. And also, it's because of GT. They fucked it up so bad.
The person who's doing the manga at the moment isn't Toriyama, it's Toyotaro.
Yeah.
I feel like the thing is, though, like, there would be enough people now who have lived through GT that understand the mistakes that were made in GT.
Yeah.
Like, GT was a long fucking time ago. I don't know if anyone really realizes, like, how long ago GT was.
Yeah, that was, like, when I started school. I found my year 1 books, and those book covers was GT. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like 20 years old now. Like, it's not...
Yeah.
It's not... I guess what I'm trying to say is that I think it might serve them well to kind of do what other franchises do, which is like, hey, open up your gates to the people who grew up watching this.
Yeah.
Because there are a bunch of people right now who are our age or maybe a little younger who are probably coming into that industry who grew up watching Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they know what it means to do a good Dragon Ball Z arc. I know because the Frieza and Cell saga were on repeat on Cheese TV for like 4 fucking years. Like, we know what they are. We know what good Dragon Ball is. So let us have a crack at it. I just don't see why we have to keep waiting for the Toriyama to come in and save us, because he's proven he's not that great either.
Well, Toriyama wants to hand it over to Toyotaro, but I think the people at Jump don't want to do that because, they're still scared of the GT situation. But Toyotaro was the guy that created Dragon Ball AF, which was more popular and had better ratings than GT.
AF was a manga. Like, it was a fan manga. Like,
AF, it was a fan manga made by Toyotaro. Yeah. And the storyline with that had better ratings than the storyline in GT.
Yeah. It was fun. It was a cool little thing.
Yeah. So I think you will start to see Toyotaro doing a lot more stuff. I think it's probably better because Toriyama forgets a lot of stuff. Whereas Toyotaro was a huge fan of Dragon Ball, and then he just so happened to become basically like Toriyama's apprentice because he did so good.
Now, there's that famous interview where he forgot about like Super Saiyan 3 or whatever.
Yeah. But like so Toriyama forgets a lot of stuff. Toyotaro remembers everything in Dragon Ball Z. Like all the stuff in Super that you've seen of all of the references, that is Toyotaro. Toyotaro created most of the Gods of Destructions. Like he illustrated most of them. Like the robot-looking guy, what was it, Moscow? he looks a lot like the giant robot in GT, the evil robot baby god thing.
I've not seen GT in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, I know GT pretty well. I'm not. Which
I know
one?
Super Saiyan 4.
It was just after the fucking weird. You remember the guys that were like par 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 par?
Pon
Do you
para
remember
para,
them?
pon para para.
Oh
Yeah. It was a couple of episodes
Brothers,
after that. They were still traveling through space, and they run into like this planet.
Right,
bunch
right.
Of people are enslaved.
It's during the season of filler bullshit where they're just running around the planets.
I skipped that.
Oh,
like
God,
I was like
fucking
10
hate
episodes into it. I'm like, nothing is happening, and I skipped straight to the baby shit. And that's
You
a
know
good
how-
arc. I defend the baby arc.
The baby arc is great.
The baby arc was pretty good. They still fucked up though because they
Oh, yeah.
teased so many things that people wanted and never gave it. So like they obviously knew what would have been good, and then they're just like, nah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like adult Trunks and Goten fusion.
Yep.
Fusion between Majin. Maju and Gohan.
Yeah.
They were going to do that, but that never happened. Fucking.
Just ended up being Gogeta again.
Literally anyone else but Goku never happened.
Yeah.
I mean, that first arc of GT sucks. The one where they're traveling through space with the Dark Star Dragon Balls. But the baby arc's solid.
Yeah.
And I think the Evil Dragons arc is solid as well.
I didn't mind the Super 17 arc.
Super 17's not bad.
Yeah.
Super 17
it was
just that Janemba movie again for me.
Yeah, it's very much a filler arc though. But I'm talking about like they had a good ideas. Like I said, the baby arc was really cool, and the evil dragons coming out of the Dragon Balls was a cool idea.
Yeah.
Because it gave consequences to the wishes, because that had never been a thing before.
Yeah.
And suddenly like, oh shit, we fucked up. And those dragons had personality and were interesting, and Omega Shenron was cool. It was a cool way to end it, but man, oh man, was everything else in between just hot trash fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think because they thought it was going to go on for another like 2,000 episodes, and like that's why they teased all these fusions and such, but they never actually got to it. That's why they're like, oh, we have to cancel it. So all that cool shit you want, we're never going to get to it. Dragon Ball Heroes, it's your time to shine.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that the best thing that came out of GT was Dragon Ball Heroes.
Isn't it still supposed to be that like Super will tie into GT though? Isn't that the
No, I think it's supposed to
plan?
be an alternate dimension. That's what Heroes is doing. So it's like it's not just like a future dimension where things slightly were different, like Trunks' future, and it's not another universe. It's an alternate dimension running at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, fuck.
But it's really weird because Time Patrol and the Time Patrol is in Heroes and all the games, and they're supposed to be canon, and they can go to all of them, but it's a different dimension or a different time.
Weird.
Yeah, don't think too hard about it.
Yeah.
Almost certainly isn't.
Don't
It's
think,
Dragon
just
Ball.
consume.
Yeah.
I am the slave to corporate Australia. I'd like to see where this is going, but I don't think we're going to get anything while coronavirus is going on. They're not going to risk anything, and yeah, it's going to suck for a long time.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Not just Dragon Ball, everything. It's going to suck for a long time.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I've been into. What are you doing, Shannon?
Well, not a lot. Last weekend, I don't know if we talked about it or not, but I played the Pokemon Go Fest.
Yeah.
You were about to do it. I think,
Yes, I was about to do it. So I actually played that. It was 10 hours of... so it was this weird thing. The first day ended up being pretty fun. 10 o'clock hit, and the game just exploded. It was just, like, heaps of Pokemon spawning, and holy shit, I haven't seen this before, and all this new stuff. And it did really well at getting a lot of people in.
You sent me a bunch
challenge.
of raid requests, and I'm like, oh, sure, I'll do this for this Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that stuff too, because that was all like that's all stuff they've put into the game recently, where you can like invite people who aren't anywhere near the raid to come in and join the raid.
I really hope that stays after COVID, because it's a really cool feature. Like, and you still have to pay for the remote pass, so they're still getting money. So
Yeah,
take it
yeah.
away.
I hope a lot of this stuff stays.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot of raids going on, a lot of Pokemon that you would normally not catch. The servers did take a hit during some of it, so they're doing a makeup event for a 3-hour gap later on in the month, which is normal. It always happens. The second day was mostly battle focused. It was all about the rocket grunts that are in the game now. They're just spawning everywhere, and you could battle them. So by the end of the 2 days, you got if you completed all the tasks that you were meant to complete, you would get a Shadow Articuno, a Shadow Zapdos, a Shadow Moltres, and a Shadow Mewtwo. And then a Victini that came along at the end of that. It's like, hey, I'm a Victini. Now you got another mythical. That was actually a lot of fun. And the other thing was that because of the way that everything has been done in Pokemon Go since coronavirus, we were able to do all of that from my living room. Like, we just sat on a couch and did it.
Nice.
And it was good. We got Uber Eats pizza. Like, it was really easy to just lounge back and play Pokemon Go for 10 hours. The only other things that I'm really into is I've played a little bit more Ghost of Tsushima, but not a lot, not enough to get me.
Yeah.
And on your friendly Geordies train there, Nathaniel, I actually bought 2 of his comedy specials.
Like the DVDs or?
No. He's got a website where you just purchase the downloads.
Yeah.
And so I bought Why John Howard Really Sucked and Malcolm Turnbull, A Life. And they're really fucking good.
I went and saw the Why John Howard Really Sucked in actual.
I would like to see him live.
He is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he's a really good performer. It's really funny, really insightful too.
Is it just
I think yeah. Well, yes, but he interacts with the crowd very well.
He doesn't just monologue for like 3 hours.
No,
I mean, the recording was a bit of a weird one because he was in Sydney. So it was a little bit weird. It wasn't quite as interactive, and I think the audience knew they were being recorded as well, so they were a little bit subdued. But he's still very, very good at doing what he wants to do, and that's the thing, is that his performance is very unique to him. He has a joke partway through about how, wait a second, this isn't a stand-up show, it's a lecture on economics. Yeah, it is. And like all that kind of stuff. So he's very aware of what he's doing, and he's not going to apologize for it. So he toes the line between comedy and like blowing your mind constantly, and does a really, really, really good job at it. Like I said, I learned a lot in the Why John Howard Really Sucked one, and had a lot of laughs. And then the Malcolm Turnbull A Life thing is just really funny. And really impressive that he's able to keep up this character of Malcolm Turnbull. He keeps it up for an hour straight, and it's really, really good. He breaks once. He breaks once in the entire time, and it's it was impressive that he was able to keep that up for so long. So yeah, I kind of did that. Reason being, I felt like I needed a bit of a laugh. For those of you who don't know, we're in Queensland, and I specifically live on the south side of Brisbane, which just had those 2 fucking idiots who came across from the border. So there is COVID scares all over the fucking place. So now I'm sitting here going, motherfucker, I don't know if I'm staying home or anything like that. So it's really tense at the moment right now. Everyone is very tense down. Which is shitty.
And I live in the directly affected area. Like the hotspot ping ups is like literally just around the corner from my house.
Yeah.
The shopping center that's like both of them that are fucked up. But the 2 that I go shopping to because they're within walking range. Like, so I'm.
Well, it's the same thing for Shannon. And it's the same thing for me because I work around that area. Like,
so the lucky thing was I was looking at the list of affected areas, and like I know that one of the shopping centers is one that I usually frequent. Luckily, in the time period they had gone there, I hadn't touched that shopping center in like 2 weeks because I was just being lazy and like not shopping. So far I've managed to avoid all of that, and I don't have any of the symptoms, so I'm okay for the most part at least. But it's more than just like, man, we were doing so well, and I'm just kind of pissed because I'm like, well, now I might have to stay home, and I don't know because if the suburbs lock down, even if I don't have the infection, I'm still locked down with everyone else for everyone's safety. Yeah. And I'm gonna have to do that because these two cunts wanted some designer handbags, I think is the story going around now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, they wanted to sell those designer handbags after they stole them.
Ugh, fuck it. Jesus Christ. I will say this, I don't want to talk about them too much, but I thought it was weird how quickly they got doxxed, like how quickly we got photos and all that, and like it was on the internet, and I was like, wow, this is... And I'm in two minds about that. I'm like, yeah, no, fuck them, I don't care, fuck them. But also, but also, probably shouldn't do that.
Like, another thing is...
I don't think it was the officials, I'm pretty sure.
No, it was the media.
Yeah,
it was the media.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is that... Because if you listen to the officials talking, they never use their name. They don't even call them... They don't call them out in any way. They just say the two individuals or the two teenagers or whatever they use. But they are using, like, legal language to not give the names out because you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
So the fact that the media just did that really, like...
Yeah, because I don't know the name of the chick who started it in fucking Melbourne again.
No.
You know?
No.
I don't think there was like a single person. It was like...
happened.
Yeah. I think Melbourne just ended up just being stupid. This is
but even so, like we don't, they still don't name and shame. Like the one that was going around Twitter was that like when we first went into lockdown, there was a couple who had a 50th birthday party in Noosa, against COVID like restrictions, and people got infected at that birthday party. We don't know their names.
Yeah.
We have no idea who they were, but they did exactly the same thing. They did a flagrant disregard for the restrictions that are in place and put a lot of people in danger, and there was an infection hotspot up there because of what they did. And no one knows who they are. No one. But somehow these girls get immediately doxxed and put onto the internet. And I guess partially it's their own fault because they were posting on Instagram and TikTok while they were doing this fucking dirty deal. So, like, there's a little bit of, like, people connecting the dots, but also, like, the Daily Mail the Courier Mail newspaper just had both of their faces on the front page. And you're like, well,
yeah,
Jesus, like, no subtlety whatsoever.
Yeah.
With some cheesy fucking tagline like "Public Enemy #1."
Yeah, it was enemies of the state.
Oh god.
You fucking enemies of the state, these cunts. It's frustrating here because for once in this goddamn country, Queensland was leading the way in a good thing.
Yeah.
We were like, yeah, we don't have any coronavirus, look at us go! And then all of a sudden we're like, fuck. So that's been frustrating, especially because my birthday's coming up and we were supposed to go away. And now I'm like, I don't know if I can go away now. And that's a purely selfish thing. Fuck that, man.
But like this is the year where you can barely be selfish, so
yeah, like it's a thing of like during the first wave of the pandemic, Vanessa had her birth, so we didn't get to do anything on that, and I was like, oh well, I tried as best I could. I bought a spa. I was like, that's. I hope like that'll work.
If we get locked down again, I'm gonna buy one.
It's so worth it, dudes. Yeah. It's so worth it.
I've sat here thinking, I'm like, okay, well, if we have lockdown again and I can't go to the gym, I'm buying a spa and some at-home gym equipment, and that's going to be my afternoon, every afternoon.
It's a good afternoon.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things of like, I just don't know what to do.
I'm gonna set it up downstairs with a projector, and I'm gonna play fucking Mario Kart or some shit in the spa. Hands outside, Joy-Cons in hand.
Yeah, like we said last week, the Joy-Cons are the greatest invention known to man.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. But yeah, it's just frustrating to be in the situation. But so far it appears that, like, I think, as of this recording, there has only been one reported case.
So there's been a few cases in Queensland, but none related to the girls yet.
Yeah, only one. There's been one confirmed infection related to them. Well, two. So there was two girls, and then there was a third with them, and she also has it.
Yeah.
And then they've found one guy yesterday who was at one of the restaurants they went to. He's got it. But that so far is the only confirmed case after contact tracing. There are a couple of other cases.
There'll be more. Yeah, there'll be more after today.
Yeah, by the end of this week, we'll know. But I'm also hoping because we've got good social distancings in place. For the most part, I'm hoping that that all plays out well. But we'll see.
Well, see, that was the thing I was because the other thing is the other 3 cases that we have in Queensland currently were people who tested positive while in quarantine.
Yeah.
So one guy came from overseas. He was in a 14-day quarantine, and 4 days in, they tested positive. So it's well, he stays in quarantine for the next 10 days, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 positives were from people who just came from Sydney, and they were like, "Oh, we were at the hotspot. We're staying home for 14 days," and then they tested positive, and they did the right thing and didn't go out into the community. So we've got really good practices here in Queensland, and the hope is that these girls were fuckheads and running around, but everyone else around them was doing the right thing. Yeah. So the hope is that everyone else doing the right thing around them might be enough to okay, maybe we get a couple dozen cases, but it doesn't turn into Melbourne.
Yeah.
Because like I said, so far there's only been 1 confirmed positive case, and I think they've done 9,500 tests. That's a pretty good strike rate. I'm gonna say.
So far, yeah.
Well done, Queensland. If that's the strike rate, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really waiting till the end of this week to see how this all nets out because I think they were found on Thursday. It's only been a couple of days, so.
Yeah, chief medical officer said the next 48 hours was imperative because everyone needed to get tested in the area, and then the week after that is the big telling. In a week from now, if we have a bunch of positive cases, then we're fucked. But so far, the dam seems to be holding, which is good.
Yeah.
But as a general rule, fucking do the right thing. Jesus Christ, it's not that fucking hard.
Well, they were criminals to begin with, so.
God Almighty.
Yeah,
these Melbourne fuckers running around with no masks.
Even at work, I noticed that a lot of people are doing the smart thing. We were stupid busy, but that's whatever. But everyone was mostly everyone was in drive-through, unless they were delivery people.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, you look into the front area, and everyone's standing at the marked spots away from each other. I'm like, oh, thank fuck, people are actually taking this seriously and doing it properly.
A lot of Queenslanders are now wearing masks, even though technically we don't have to yet. It's not hit that point for us. But they're doing it anyway because they're this is just smart. This is just safe. I even bought masks.
And I went to 3 different pharmacies and they're all sold out, which sucks for me, but hey, at least people are fucking wearing masks.
I just went online to Amazon and bought a pack of 5 reusable ones.
Oh yeah.
So I can wear them and wash them and keep using them. I don't necessarily see the thing here is that I'm not doing this for me. I'm fine.
Yeah.
But Vanessa, my wife, is high risk. So it's for her protection. If I get it, I'll probably be fine. Who knows?
Yeah.
But if I get it and I'm living in the house with someone who's high risk, now suddenly their life is in danger. It's not for me.
Exactly.
I could give a shit. And that's the thing I think people really need to get through their thick skulls. It's not for you. It's for everyone else.
Yeah.
And if you don't get that, then you don't deserve to be here. Get the fuck out. Of this existence. I'm not talking about the country. Of this, just go to a Corona island. We'll put them all on a Corona island. They can just go there.
Not
Australia's really good at putting people on islands.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kyron.
I said, if you can't comprehend that not everything is about you, maybe you should just be by yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Forever.
Yeah.
During the first wave,
But anyway,
I didn't wear a mask, but since because most of it was isolated and in the quarantine zones anyway, because we were just picking them up as we went along. I think this week I am gonna just wear the mask. Work provides them, so I'm just gonna wear them. It's not great,
it's the smallest inconvenience.
Exactly, yeah.
The tiniest inconvenience.
Yeah.
And honestly, I bought a bunch of masks that are black. I think it's gonna look pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah. Oh, I should have just bought the collector's edition. Oh well.
Ghost of Southside Brisbane.
You got Jerry, mate?
walk around all the time.
Oh, you got a dairy, mate? You got a lot?
Cut a
And
hole
it's
in it.
quick.
Yeah, I'm being COVID safe. Yeah.
And as quick as he was there, he was gone. I fucking fell over, mate. Oh, my back hurts.
So I just bought Ghost of Tsushima, and it'll arrive on my birthday.
Nice. Well done.
Happy birthday.
Kyron, you
Kyron,
died.
your camera died.
Yeah, I shut it off because I'm gonna eat my burger, and I don't want to do that on camera.
That's valid.
That's smart. Anyway, that's pretty much me. Keena, you're last up. What have you been up to?
Ghost of Tsushima. I finished Rebels last weekend, which finishes that part of the Star Wars saga that I'm going through. Rebels is really good. You'll need to watch it. Like it. I
don't know if I can Star Wars anymore.
That's valid.
I don't know.
Did you like The Mandalorian?
It's hard. I thought The Mandalorian was fine.
Yeah.
I think we've had this discussion where I was like, it was like okay. How many episodes was it? 8?
8, yeah.
It was like 6 episodes one episode of okay, and then the last episode which was like, oh, that was pretty good. That was actually really good.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think it deserved the fervor it did have. You know, there was a lot of like, oh my god, the Mandalorian's amazing and Baby Yoda, and I was like, Baby Yoda's cute. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
The child is adorable, but yeah, it was the last 2 episodes. That was all that was worth it.
Rebels. I really like Rebels. I think it's the best Star Wars property because it's not afraid of being Star Wars. My common issue that I've come across with Star Wars is that it doesn't like its own lore. Like
it hates itself.
It hates itself. Like it just like the biggest example of it is in Episode 9, where they go to that big Exegor, which is basically a Sith temple. In Rebels, there's already a Sith temple that they established, and when I thought they were the same planet when I was going through, but when I realized what that planet was, I'm like, oh no, these are 2 different places, and I'm like, that just established the fact that like they don't use any of the stuff. If you watch the movie, everything is new all the time. Like it's only references to the characters that they've like got. Whereas like Rebels, I think it sets up a really good cast of characters, and then expands its own lore, like Jedi stuff. It does the prequel-y shit of like, oh, these are the A-Wings that they used in fucking New Hope and stuff like that. Here's Wedge. Like, there's prequel-y bits, but it all serves the purpose, and it all serves character development. Yeah, and for me, it's really good. Like, it's only 4 seasons long. Only 2 of those seasons are full 22 episodes. It's really good, and it kind of works better if you've seen Clone Wars, but only in like there's Ahsoka there, like that's pretty much it. And that's the thing, I don't recommend Clone Wars. Yeah, Clone Wars only gets good 4 seasons in, like actual good. But I can't recommend like, oh, just watch 4 seasons, you'll be right. No.
I think the other problem is that like when you watch something with Star Wars, especially these prequel series and all these television shows around it, it just serves to reinforce how not good the movies have been recently.
Yeah.
And I say recently because I think the original trilogy stands on its own, and I don't want to be one of those old people. It's like the original trilogy was the best, but because they live in a vacuum, they kind of are, you know, because you can take those 3 in and of themselves. But you can't take the prequels or the sequels without adding in the rest of the stuff they've added since then.
Yeah.
And so when you do that, every time I watch a new Star Wars thing, I'm just like, wow, this is so much better than Episode 8 or Episode 9. You know?
Yeah.
Any combination thereof of new shit. So I just don't. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit weird.
Yeah. For me, when I came out of Last Jedi, my immediate reaction was, this feels like an arc of Rebels. And that's and then without thinking like obviously the Last
So
Jedi
what?
makes some.
Unfounded potential?
No, it's more like that what the story it tells, it feels like a thing, not the decisions that it makes and like half-assing like decisions that were made or was supposed to be made. It's not that. It's like the actual events that occur, both the Jedi and the Resistance stuff. It just feels like a Rebels episode. I'm like, oh, okay, it's a good one. It's not the best Rebels episode, but like that's sort of where I'm at with Star Wars. Clone Wars is good. Season 7 is great. So is Rebels.
Okay, I will take your word for it.
And then, yeah, speaking of the music earlier, I've been listening to the new Taylor Swift album because that's the only artist I follow for some reason. It's good. It's not a pop album at all. It's like I don't think any of these songs will be on the radio. Well, there could be like one, but like they're not pop songs
It's
at all.
Taylor Swift. It's going to be all over the radio.
Yeah,
I don't care
inevitably, but like they aren't designed, or I don't know. You listen to her other albums and you're like, ah, yes, this is going on the radio, like this is the thing, and then she has the like B-side tracks scattered. This all just feels like a B-side, um, and it's all like the way I described it, coming off it like the third time, like it feels like sitting around a campfire and just someone just like strumming their guitar and singing at you, sort of thing. And it's just a nice, pleasant album, and it came out last weekend when it was raining, so it's just like
Just like Nathaniel before, this just sounds like my nightmares.
What music do you like?
I'm just picturing like this scraggly dude with a man bun, sitting at a campfire, going, "Yeah, I'm gonna serenade you, buddy."
More or less. What music do you like?
Just call me T Swizzle.
Yeah.
I love how you say that, but the only person here with the ponytail is you.
I'm well aware of what I am. Calm down. No, the only music like I am an old man in my heart, so I am a pure rock person. Like it's only rock. Like it's rock, it's heavy metal. That's kind of where I sit.
Okay.
And like rap. I don't mind rap, but like not mumble rap. Like it's got to be like it's very specific, like late '90s sort of Eminem, Tupac, Biggie era. You get right in there where the good shit is. That's rap.
I like a lot of music. I don't think there's too much that I don't like. I don't like a lot of mumble rap, but sometimes there's something that I can appreciate.
I think it's been more exacerbated in recent years as I continue to. So when we're driving in the car, Ness often has like a radio station or a Spotify like pop playlist, and it's been exacerbated by the fact that in recent years I have literally been listening to songs and going, wait a second, and like pulling up another song that was like from literally a year ago or maybe even two,
and it's pretty much the
and
same.
being like, this is the exact same fucking song. Like I swear to God, and it's not just.
That's me every time I listen to Pitbull.
Yeah, and it's not just like, oh, these two songs sound similar. I'm like, it's the same instrumentation, it's the same melody, it's almost the same lyrics. It's just like there was two songs that did it recently where I was like, this is exactly the same. And the life of me, and this tells you exactly what I think about me. I can't remember the name of either of the songs because they're both just generic.
Yeah.
But one of them is sung by an individual, so all of it is very pointed at an individual, and the other is sung by a group, so there's very much like a lot of they, us, we words. And that's basically the only two differences between the two fucking songs. Is that like one of them's talking about a person and the other one's talking about some people. And that's it. Everything else is exactly the same. And I said, Vanessa, these are the same songs. And I let her listen to it and she didn't realize it. And when she heard it and that it was the same song, she was like, I can't listen to those songs now. And I can't listen to any pop music now because I listen to it and I'm like, this is just this song. This is just this song. This is just that song. And I understand that sometimes they buy the licenses to get certain pieces of music in there. Like that Ariana Grande song recently that is just like the Sound of Music, my favorite things thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's got a whole song that's just like dun 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 dun, and I was like, I hope she paid for the rights, otherwise she's getting fucking sued.
Yeah.
But there's that, and then there's other stuff where they're like, this is a brand new song, and I'm like, you better have paid rights to someone, because holy shit, that is from note 1 to note, like, to the final note, an exact replica of this other song from a year ago.
Not dun 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 dun. Not dun 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 dun.
And it's driving me nuts, and so, like, there are some songs, modern songs, I am a fan of. Like, if it's got an 80s synth vibe to it, I'm down with it. I'm cool.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I love 80s synth and 80s rock.
I've been really into Dua Lipa and The Weeknd just for that reason.
The Weeknd is great.
Yeah.
See, I like mod music.
Yeah, that's what's always weird about me, is that, like, I don't have a music taste. Sorry. But yeah, it's just like music comes to me and I decide whether I like it or not. Like, it goes from like Taylor Swift to Queen to video game music, which is oftentimes in Latin, or
to Megalovonia.
Like, I don't, like, you can find yourself by, like, I like rock and, like, this very specific part of the rap history, whereas I'm like,
well, I say that, but, like, obviously there are songs out there, like, I listen to this song and I'm like, oh, I love this song, and it's poppy or whatever. Like, I'm also a huge Michael Jackson fan. Like, I love his song. So, like, it's not that I do narrow myself down to one specific genre. It's just that if you were to take my music collection as a whole, you would find that a vast majority of it lies within that, like, 80s rock synthwave kind of collection. And then, like, occasionally I'm like, oh, that Panic at the Disco song's really nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I like that Fall Out Boy.
Well, it's just like, I never liked all heavy metal. Like, I really liked heavy music, but there were some bands out there where I'm like, you were just fucking hot trash.
I think in my age, I also started to appreciate, like, a real heavy metal scream. Of, like, I'm starting to, like, not appreciate it in terms of, like, ooh, that sounds nice. It's more of, like, technically, what they have to do to their throat to be able to do that for a decade or longer is incredible. And I almost have, like, this weird respect for it now. Of, like, wow, he's destroying his vocal cords. Well done!
Like, I'm just looking at my Spotify, like, stuff, and it's, Taylor Swift, Carly Rae Jepsen, Bug Snacks, Final Fantasy. Like, it's just... none of it's consistent.
Since when did Patrick Klepek come onto this podcast?
I don't know.
Joke for Keena and Keena alone.
I don't even get it. I don't listen to that much Patrick.
Oh, so for those who don't know, Patrick Klepek he's a video game journalist.
Like, I know
his thing is that his thing is that he is super into, like, those pop female artists. Like, he only listens to Taylor Swift, Kylie Rae Jepsen, like, what's the other one's name? I don't know. Ariana Grande. Like, he only listens to those types of artists. And he's super into them, and he just doesn't... He's unapologetically super into it. He unapologetically loves Call Me Maybe. He thinks it's the greatest song that has ever been written.
It's a good song.
With no irony.
Okay.
But yeah, like, it's... I think the other thing that I actually need to talk about, though, specifically on music, is that, like, I actually don't listen to much music. Like, I don't have Spotify on my phone.
Yeah.
I don't listen to...
I've been listening to more radio than I have my own Spotify recently. Like, in the car, I don't even really listen to my own music anymore. I just put on Triple J, and then that's how I find new music now. Because they always bring out, like... I love indie artists. Indie artists always have, like, the gold nuggets of music.
Yeah.
So that's why I've been listening to a lot of Triple J. But
I have, like, a couple of friends that, like, occasionally will introduce me to music. Like, I have, like, two friends that are, like... if I want new music, I go to them and I'm like, hey, what do you listen to lately? And they just hand me stuff, and I know their taste is good. Yeah. So like, one of my friends, does anyone remember, and this will be a flashback, does anyone remember Passenger?
Yeah.
Yes. I remember the name.
He kind of happened and then dropped off the face of the earth real quick.
Yeah.
But I remember on a road trip with one of my mates, he actually introduced me to Passenger like 2 years before his big songs came in. So I was listening to Passenger for at least 2... I'm going to do one of those... I liked him before.
It was me first.
Yeah. I listened to him before he was good. But no, like, legitimately, I have one of my friends... One of my friends is super into indie music, and so he always hands me stuff. He's like, when he first introduced me to Passenger, he literally said, "This guy will be the next big thing you should listen to." Because he's got one of those people that just has that like barometer on music. He's just like he listens to something, he goes, "Oh, that's for radio. They'll totally take that."
Yeah.
Or this is not much for radio, so they're probably going to pass on him. But they might play this one song of his, or something.
And that'll be enough to blow him up. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's one of those. So he gets me those music, and then I have another friend who's just like, here's this obscure Swedish death metal band.
See, that's what I've been like recently with fucking music. Every time I find an artist, like I'll be just listening to him, like this artist is great. This song in particular, I fucking love it. And then like a week later, it's all over TikTok.
Yeah.
Fucking every time. Every fucking time.
Fucking TikTok. So, you been seeing that shit lately?
No.
Oh.
But like
everyone delete TikTok from your phones.
Why? Really? What's wrong with TikTok? Have it. I've never had it.
It's essentially Chinese spyware, apparently.
Yo, what up?
Apparently. Like, I think there's a country, I think it's India. One of the a bigger country right now is just straight up banning TikTok.
Yeah, it is India. Yeah, it's India.
They're just like, nope, we're not doing that shit. It is banned from our country.
Yeah.
Because they pulled it apart and found a lot of stuff in there that's like, oh god, no, don't do that. Like a lot of malicious spyware and stuff.
Yeah.
It's all conspiracy theories at the moment, but India apparently saw enough to be like, nah, fuck off. And I guess they share a border with China, don't they? So I guess it's kind of close to home for them. So
and also China's been weird with the borderline recently. They've been
stuff like
that.
Yeah.
No,
anyway, Keena.
Yeah, Keena, what have you been into?
What else is there? Was that it?
That was it, yeah.
Yeah, Taylor Swift and Star Wars?
Pretty much.
What a weird human being you are.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was...
Swift and Star Wars. Together at last.
I was gonna say, I always feel weird about music because, like, I know video games so well and the industry so well. Like, it's kind of like more of the indie stuff where I have my eyes on them, but, like, I don't necessarily keep all the tabs on them, but, like, everything at top level and then, like, business level, I'm like, cool, everything, you can ask me pretty much any question and I'll know. Yeah. And then movies and TV shows, I'm like, I know what's going on. I could tell you, is this made for China? Is this just someone telling the movie industry to go fuck itself? Like, that sort of stuff. Music, I don't know, like, any music, like, patterns or anything like that. I couldn't tell you if a song is sampled, like, just by listening to it. Like, the industry, I'm just like, oh? Like, and it just makes me feel like, I don't know, just not incompetent, like, just, not able to talk on music at all.
You can only cover so much. You can only be good at so many things. Like, you can only understand so much, and because I happened to do an arts degree, I kind of had to learn a lot about a lot of different things, and music was one of them, because licensing in the music industry is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because if you fuck up the licensing on your songs, like, once, it can cost you millions.
I was just trying to remember before, because I remember back when I was in high school, Taylor Swift was going through this whole thing where she took all of her music off of Spotify.
Yeah.
And she tried to trademark like a fucking shit ton of phrases.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was just been reading up on it. She successfully trademarked the lyric, "This sick beat."
Yeah.
She successfully trademarked that phrase in the song.
She trademarked it, yeah. But the weird thing about trademark law is that, like, it doesn't. It's weird.
Yeah.
Because, like, you can still use the words "this sick beat" because it's trademark. It's not copywritten.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super weird. Like, a trademark just means that she's allowed to do a certain marketing with it now. Because there's a difference between a trademark and a copyright. Copyright means you own it. You own those words. Because, like, who was it? Oh, I can't remember. Fuck.
Kanye?
Are you thinking?
I think it was Kanye that tried to copyright a phrase, like a specific phrase that was like, You can't copyright that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was literally him trying to. It was along the lines of him trying to copyright the phrase "yeah."
More or less, yeah.
And it
I
was
do.
like,
I
what?
vaguely
No,
remember
you
that.
can't copyright that. It's a word that people use.
Do you remember when the Fine Brothers tried to copyright reaction videos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Copyright
Yeah.
law is a nightmare. And that's the reason the music industry is so fucked up too, because like there are so many loopholes within its there's this weird sort of split between like there are a bunch of loopholes in music copywriting that allow big artists to steal from smaller artists. But there are a bunch of really harsh restrictions that mean that smaller artists can't really steal from bigger artists.
Yeah.
Because if you get caught copying one of the bigger artists, they'll come down on you like a ton of bricks. But if they steal from you, it's just sampling. It's super weird. So yeah, like I had to learn a lot about that in television, and I just learned about video games. I like it, so I happen to be able to hit most of it. But also having friends that are musicians really helps. Like if you're wondering about music in general, just get a couple of friends that are musicians.
I do, and I think it's for me specifically like music more so than any other type of media, maybe outside of like literal art, like paintings and drawings. It's super subjective.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh,
like the video game community is pretty much homogenized on like our tastes. Like Call of Duty is whatever, Ghost of Tsushima is good, generic but good. Like Last of Us divisive. That's the only like.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Like,
and the
almost-
movie's pretty much the same. Where it's like music, like yeah, I can talk about Taylor Swift. You all go, Nathaniel can mumble rap. Can say mumble rap. We all go, like no, like yeah.
But
and
none of us are incorrect is the thing.
exactly.
And that's
yeah.
accepted.
Yeah.
That is accepted that none of us are incorrect. Whereas in video games and movies, you can often say like this movie or this video game is the best, and everyone goes like, yes, this video game is the best. Like they all repeat it back to you.
Yeah.
It's like the thing of like yes, like what's the fucking
Citizen Kane is the greatest movie of all time.
Yes, there is. Citizen Kane is the greatest movie that has ever been made. The Dark Knight is the best of the Nolan trilogy. Like everyone has the exact same opinion on them.
Yeah.
Whereas music tends to be way more subjective.
Yeah.
You tend to be allowed to. I think it stems specifically in our generation from back in high school. You tend to be allowed to say, "I don't listen to mainstream music."
Yeah.
yeah.
And you get given
and
that right from a very early age to be like, "No, you can listen to whatever you want."
That and aggressive emo kids
Yeah.
who are like, "Fuck you, no."
Yeah,
you're
it's all
shit,
music
mine
is more
good."
about personality, so people try to listen to the right personality that they want to go for, as in high school.
These
It's all
fuckers
about
fuckers in a high school when I was in high school who are like AFI is so cool. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ! You talk about the most like artificially created like emo band of like this thing was designed to be marketed to you, and you have no sense
I
of it
remember
whatsoever.
AFI.
Yeah.
Hell.
Who
What
doesn't?
is it?
Remember that
I remember
fucking
the
that
Murder.
fucking emo fucking Jesus Christ. Oh, man.
Fucking hell. Wow, they look different now.
No, I'll bet they look like fucking Panic at the Disco or Fallout Boy at this point.
So I googled AFI and it came up with the Australian
Pretty
Foundation
fucking
investment.
close.
Oh yeah, that was a problem. Yeah, that was.
Jesus Christ.
Does he still have the giant fucking emo flick down to his fucking?
He got it all cut to look like an industrial fucking lord or something.
They look like they did the music for The Crow.
Can I like? Oh, I can share my screen. Hold on. I'm gonna
Oh
share my
shit!
screen.
I'm going in the Discord mode.
Oh Jesus!
This one, yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Whatever.
Oh.
Can you see that?
No,
Can you see
yeah.
that?
I've got to
gotta
click on
click
it. So, if I move my mouse, all of your names are going to appear on the recording.
Nah, well, I already did that. Fuck.
That's all right.
Oh, okay. All right.
Jesus.
So that's what they look like now.
Oh wow! Oh, they're just fucking hipsters.
So, but this is what they looked like when they were at their
Yeah,
peak.
yeah. Do you remember that? Do you remember that shit? Remember that shit? Look at that
Why
shit!
his hair
Look at that!
side?
Look at that!
It's so fucking long.
Look at that emo flick! Oh man! Oh buddy! Oh,
They
it's
look so
gross.
fucking different now.
Oh man. Oh yeah, that is just generic hipster.
Yeah.
This guy should be selling me Manscaped ads. That's what this guy should be
The
doing.
dude on the
Trim
right.
your balls.
Dude on
My
the
big
right
hairy
of the
balls.
guy in white.
What's that?
The dude on the right of the guy in white just looks like the creepy dude from Misfits.
Oh,
The dude who can turn invisible.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
So it turns out I can't watch stream. I can, but it just destroys everyone else's audio.
Oh, Jesus. Well,
Yeah,
you can
so-
take my recording then.
No, it's fine. Like, it's fine now. Like, I just turn watch streaming off. Just a couple of seconds. People have to deal with underwater people,
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Atlanteans.
Worked all right on mine, but Jesus Christ. But
Yeah.
yeah, music is weird. Anyway.
Yeah.
Music exists,
Mm.
and no one can tell if it's good or not.
Oh yeah.
Let's burn it all down. Let's go back to just sticks and
Samplers.
drums. Let's go right back to where it all began. Fuck this. Start again. I want my music to just be one man in a loincloth beating a rabbit skin.
Throat singing.
That's all I want. Yeah.
If you have any thoughts on music, please comment below or email us at amalgamshow@gmail.com. If you like this episode, click that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell because we might have some more music discussion. Do you like music or do you like video games? Are you one or are you all? Let us know.
We should do a podcast where we discuss music in video games.
Oh,
We
fuck,
should.
I can go on forever about that.
If you'd like to see that, donate to our Patreon.
At patreon.com/theamalgamshow.
This guy with the ideas.
You see, you're pointing away from me.
Yeah.
On the screen.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, see, my recording, he's right there. Is he not there?
No.
Where is he on your recording?
In
Is
my
that way?
recording, I'm pointing
Yeah.
to you.
So I'm pointing to Nate now.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. No, Kyron, you're right.
Keena's over there.
No, Keena's there.
Tina's there.
This is ridiculous.
I really like AFI.
That's Kyron.
Also, check us out on all social medias except for what do you say at the start?
Vine.
Theme.
Except your local industry super.
Except for Mixer. Because it's fucking
Oh.
dead.
Yeah.
Well, what does
Microsoft shot it
Ninja
like
do
a...
now? Is he still on Mixer?
No, he went
No,
to
I
think he's going
YouTube
back to
Gaming.
Twitch.
No, he went to YouTube Gaming because
Didn't
he.
Mixer die?
Yeah, Mixer like they were.
Mixer gets shut down. Mixer is dead. Ninja and Shroud free to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got their $30 million payout and then they just fucked off somewhere else.
Nice.
Go. You're allowed to leave now.
So yeah, it was
You're
really weird
allowed.
because like Mixer was like, let's just. They started getting what was it? Oh,
Are we
Mixer
done,
the company. No, yeah, no. Mixer was like,
Keena was doing the outro and then he got caught up on the Mixer topic.
yeah, just
I
quickly.
thought we ended it and this was just a post.
Turns out Mixer was like super racist in their like creative team and stuff. And then like 2 days later, I don't know if it's related, but Microsoft was like, "Yeah, we're shutting this down." And giving
they
it
were
to
going to
Facebook.
close down Mixer well before that. But that's a really weird coincidence in timing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Until next time. Catch you later. Bye.
Peace.